Hey guys, it's Charlie. It is the 6th of July, Tuesday, and I want to talk a little bit about the continuing con game going on with the mainstream media and with the powers that be in Washington and in Europe. This morning I get up after a nice 3-day weekend, nice chance to reload and kind of re-energize, and the stock market's up 134 points this morning. Well, I kind of want to dig into that and figure out why. So I do, and I find out that it's the same old con game, the same thing we've been seeing in the media for the last couple months. You know, just hammering home that we are in recovery. It's a V-shaped recovery. We have true economic growth in this country. More of the same, and that managed to get the Dow up to 170 points to the positive side before it finally reality kicked back in and went into the negative, and then closed a little bit ahead, 50 points, I think. To the positive side. But what was the news that sparked all this? Was it, great employment numbers? Was it potential factories being built in the U.S.? Was there some real economic data that came out that sparked a big rally? No. Jean-Claude Trichet, the European version of Ben Bernanke, came out and said basically the budget cuts, the austerity measures in Europe are going to prevent a double-dip recession. And these budget cuts have went a long way to instill confidence into the markets. And that's why we had this big rally today. So it's the same old thing, the same game over and over again. It's not a coincidence Christina Romer, the president's, one of his top economic advisors, came out and said virtually the identical thing just last week. She came out and said that according to the numbers she looks at, she sees no chance of a double-dip recession. See, that's what we're left with now. We can't point at, look at housing, it's leveling out. Why? Because the tax credit's gone. We can't look at unemployment, it's getting better. And there's not as many people suffering because we've extended unemployment benefits. Because that game is over. The Senate is no longer extending unemployment benefits. These people are falling off the rolls. And guess what? Bills are going to stop being paid because they have no income now whatsoever. So they can't point at reality and say, things are getting better, and here's the metric I'm using to tell you that. They're going to fall back on their last remaining card in the deck, which is the great con game. They're going to come out and say, we think it's going to get better, and because we say so, the stock market will go up, and that will instill confidence in the sheeple of the nation. But look how long that lasts now. Romer comes out last week and says that, and it doesn't even move the Dow. Matter of fact, it closed down for that day. Trichet comes out and says it, and it lasts a few hours until the reality still sets in that Europe is screwed. They are too far in debt. They're being held up by the banksters, just like the U.S. is too far in debt, and we're being held up by the banksters. So by the end of the day, the rally falls apart, and we finish barely ahead of flat. And the facts are right there before Romer's eyes and right there before Trichet's eyes. And so they're omitting the truth from you, which in my opinion is another way of saying they're outright lying to you if they say they don't see a double-dip recession coming, especially here in the U.S. How does Romer not see that we have a 33% drop in May in housing? Housing is what led us into this, allegedly. How does she not see that the Baltic Dry Index, a key indicator that economists use to determine the health of an economy, is down 50% in the last 28 days. Now, I could go on with 15 different things that show the economy is absolutely not only slowing, but reversing, and reversing very fast and very hard. The game is over. The gimmicks are over. There is no more stomach for bailouts. There is no more stomach for extending unemployment benefits. There is no more stomach for more stimulus. So what's going to happen now is the reality is going to set in, and this economy is going to implode. The con game, is designed for one reason and one reason only: try to get us through to November so that they can keep the administration, can keep their power in the House and the Senate. The senators and congressmen who are up keep their seats. That's why they're not voting for extending unemployment benefits. That's the only reason. Don't think they're fiscal hawks, because they want a bigger government regardless of what party they're in. The neocons want just as big a government as the communist liberals on the Democrat side. Don't kid yourself in thinking there's a difference. This entire thing is a confidence con game. Articles are attached. That's all I got.